Happy Friday, guys. Shrinks in the house once again in my beautiful space that I love, and all other audiophiles really love it when they come here because it's hard to tell on the camera, right? It's approaching a near field. There's the speakers, and I sit around 7 feet away, and they're around 8 feet apart. Not the totems, but it's even 9-foot ceilings, 8 feet apart, and then it really extends behind here, like where the camera's mounted on the island of the kitchen. It's wide open space. I have no wall behind me, so it's just a reason why I've been enjoying the spatials for so long, and they're everything about them is why they stay here. The looks, the performance, the way I'm able to engage with the music with these speakers. Every other audiophile, including the guy that came with the frequency sweep that has a really expensive rig at home, he just loves the tonality of them, right? And the totems are almost as much money. I mean, at retail when they were current. So, all of us that have been down this road, you may still be having an issue, or you've been down it for a very long time, have tried many pairings, many different, speaker and amplifier pairings and sources and all this other stuff, right? And lots of them you just don't even remember them because they meant nothing to you. You sold them and you have no regret about that or anything, right? And then there's some pieces, components that we may regret that we let go. And I've had a couple of those. I mean, I love the Amphion Argon 3S that I own. They're just absolutely beautiful. Like when you look at the speaker close up, compared to the Bucart, both, Finland or Denmark, one's Finland, but just the pride of the build, right? Every little thing from the cutouts to the drivers, it's kind of like a work of art. And then I'm not cutting down Bucart because they're very, very good value. But, you get what you pay for, guys, like for the most part. So, I've done videos in this before. Please don't poo on the people that, spend a lot of money on audio equipment. I mean, it is foolish if they have no experience at all. Just throw all this money at a system, yeah. Because, again, experience will take you further when it comes to this hobby. You can spend less money and build a better system with knowledge than you can with a whole bunch of money. So, the video, I'm always all over the place the way I speak because I don't think a lot about how I'm going to convey the message I'm trying to do. But, it's about my favorite pairings that I've had in my lifetime in the room. Obviously, I've lived in different spaces. This space is 6 years, and it's my home, so I own it. So, not outright, but I own it. And there's other places I've been, and to be honest, this is the best room that I had to work with that I've ever had, right? So I knew from the start, from the very beginning when the spatials came into the room, and that's after having many different speakers. Omegas I had here, I had other pairs of totems, I've had monitor audios, I've had some boutique brands like Roll Audio. Man, were they good, holy cow. They're a little bit hideous to look at, but Roll Audio's tonality is just amazing. And then probably the most expensive speakers I had were the Graham LS59s. And again, when you get up close and look at everything from the wood grain to the build quality, and they were phenomenal. They were, but they're just a little much for this space. They're a large stand mount box, right? So the bass, they were kind of like surgical instruments too. They really picked apart the recordings, and that's just not my listening style. I like music to just the ease and flow. It doesn't need to be examined like by an instrument or anything, but they are phenomenal. When they were good, there's not much that can touch them. So, you know, and I've had so many guys. I can't. I've had the Paradigms. I've had all the big name brands, the Bauer Wilkins, and I've had lots of boutique brands, which I always preferred. One of the best value stand mounts you could buy, in my opinion, at under $2,000 is AE 500 Acoustic Energy. I owned them, and they're unbelievable. Like, I mean, they play large. It's got a huge sound stage, the solid inert wood grain build quality, proprietary carbon fiber drivers, all for under $2,000. I mean, I don't know of any other company that can even come close, to be honest. And now they have a flagship out that's $10,000, and I know that it's going to compete with speakers at double the price that are not made in, you know, in China. So I love China. There's some amazing factories in China. Line Magnetic, you know, the KN factory. There's some really top end stuff built. I mean, coming out of China. Not the Denafrips and all that stuff. That's not. This is next level. It's up there, right? Like with the Line Magnetic, and when you get it and you feel the build, and I'm sorry, I won't even get into this, but it's back to those favorite pairings. Like I've had so many. So when the Spatials came in, they dropped my jaw, like immediately. I just could not believe how amazing they sounded right here in this space, like taking them out of those big fridge boxes. I was just terrified, like if it was a mistake, what I'd have to go through to sell them and get them out of here. Like, I'm not a fan of bulk anymore. I don't buy huge power amps and these kinds of things. I'm more into the cutting edge. You know, I'm following what these cutting edge technology designers are up to, and I have faith in them, especially Bel Canto. It's just unbelievable. So we'll get right to it, right? My favorite pairing that I've ever had, like the Line Magnetic was a really good pairing with these Spatials. It's, you know, if I was into having a whole bunch of separate components and stuff like that, again, I'd have no problem. But I'm just not really into the tubes anymore either, just due to the fact that somewhere down the road, I don't even want to spend the $600 to replace the 2 tubes, which I haven't even had to do since ownership, because 845's 10,000 hour lifespan. Well, that is a long time, guys. So don't believe those myths that people, oh, you got to change the tubes all the time. Oh, that's BS. So especially with a well-built tube amplifier, the tubes are going to last a really long time. But I'm just not into it. I'm just into an amp that stays on 24/7. I can just walk in the room after work if I want, go on to Tidal, and away we go, man. Just like that with the Bel Canto. So it's and the phono stage. So to me, the greatest pairing I've ever had on this entire journey, and that's why it's here, is the Bel Canto house sound, but as a model, the E1X, because it's doing everything I need it to do, phono stage, reference level, streaming, and the Spatial. So it's that pairing that exceeds anything that's ever come into the room, regardless of price, okay? I could say it right now, I mean, to compare the two, Spatial, Bel Canto. But, oh yeah, and then the turntable, right, for the analog source. But when we get into the Line Magnetic, then we got to add all these things. We got the Line Magnetic, we got the streamer, we got the DAC, we got a CD player connected to it. I mean, there's all these other things going, and then there's the totems, which I love. But I'm sorry, even though it's the same price, when you add up retail for all these components together, the Bel Canto comes out on top. It's just the way it is, and I recommend it 100%. If someone's going to get an open baffle, and just grab one of John Stronzer's masterpieces, man. Don't be surprised if the Black EX is in here pretty soon, the $22,000. I mean, and not to show you all, to keep, okay? And things, I'm not one of those guys that's bringing in stuff to show off, and this, you know, I'm buying it with my own money and enjoying it for a very long time. Like, this stuff has all been in here a very long time. The turntable's going on probably 6-7 years. The Spatial, 6-7 years. line magnetic 6-7 years, right? So I stopped doing that a long time ago, thank God, right? So yeah, I mean, it's sooner or later, like I did, there was a big tear down and a lot of components left the room. But I still was stuck with that line magnetic. I just couldn't let it go. And the next move that I'll do is going to be another huge tear down, just to go back to the simple spatial and then a high end. This is high end. I mean, it's for anyone, normal people, a $12,000 integrated, it's high end. I don't care about these 40, 50, 60,000. I know how much these manufacturers are charging for chassis. So anyways, it's the next step up from the Black EX is double the price. And then it goes up double from there to the ACS 600, just a solid billet. Yeah, so the Black EX is gonna run you around 22 grand Canadian. Don't be surprised if it's here, because I can do it, and, you know, if I so choose, and just to simplify and to live out the rest of my life, as long as the thing lasts, you know. That's where we're gonna head, because the pairing is just, it's just so phenomenal. I can't say enough about it. I've had some real intelligent individuals in here that know a hell of a lot more than me, even on the technical side. And luckily, it's just a friendly room from the get-go. You know, no treatment is needed. If I really want to get that, like, go down that rabbit hole, I could, but I just got lucky with a friendly room, guys, to work with. And I looked at the drawings when I bought the place, because it was a pre-build, and I made sure there was going to be a good space to even build a system, because this isn't cheap. It's not what's behind me here. But again, everyone can play at a certain depth of the pool, and they don't, if you're going over that and it's causing you arrears, or then you're doing it wrong. It should just be something that's really just surplus money that you're able to spend, and it doesn't really get in the way of any other of the major responsibilities. That's how I did it anyways. And so it's a long video. It's kind of all over the place. I'm just fatigued. I actually did work today. I've had the last Fridays off. My buddy was just exhausted, so I had to step in for him. I mean, we're not spring chickens here, so. But anyway, yeah. Anyone who can grab themselves an open baffle and try one of these ultra high-end, like cutting-edge technology, not ultra high-end, but high-end, cutting-edge technology devices from Belcanto, man, you're just going to be blown away. Yeah. And I know there's people out there that are just loving them right now due to my suggestion. Just don't worry. You're going to love it. It's just that good. So that's my favorite pairing in 3 decades that I've owned. So thanks a lot. Anyone that wants to support the channel, there's a super thanks right down there. Why not give back? I mean, I give back quite a bit here myself. So just spending my time here to try and entertain y'all. So have a good weekend.